Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new, welcome. My name is Monica and welcome to my November wrap-up. I read 32 books this year, this year, almost this year, but this was actually in November. And I feel like I had a pretty darn good reading month because I had 8 favorite reads. And the other one that I want to talk about was a buddy read. And the only reason why I'm talking about this is because it was a buddy read with Morgan. And I'll link her channel down below. Krista Teresa, she's a new to me author. I saw her on TikTok. There was some shenanigans with some stuff that was happening over there, and she was very classy about it. And it's called Love Harvested, and this is a solid duet debut, small town romance, cowboy, childhood crush. And I actually really liked the character Lucy. She lost her parents when she was 11 years old in a car accident. The character Van, he was the cowboy. He was fairly oblivious, but I sort of knew the twist going in. Well, not going in, but I kind of guessed the twist. Her and I both agree that they were better off as friends, but the writing is solid. The characters, like, I really enjoyed the way she wrote the story. This is a second chance romance. They talked a lot about therapy. The plot was really, really good. They forced each other to talk to each other. So there was really no third act breakup. There's this whole thing with like having a chocolate chip day just to see how they were feeling. That was really cute. I didn't buy the romance, so unfortunately that wasn't the biggest hit with me. I gave it a 4 stars on Goodreads, but it was a really solid debut. I will keep my eyes out on for this author. Again, see if she does anything else. I know this is a first in the series, and it's her first. I think with time she will be someone who will do really, really well. Now on to my 5 stars. So I had 8 5 stars. The Graham Effect. I loved The Graham Effect. I was terrified to go in this book because honestly, I loved the off-campus series. I loved the off-campus series, and I loved the spin-off, the Briar You series. Like, I'm one of the few people who probably really loved the Briar You series too. Like, I mean, Summer's awesome. Even though she's like totally not like me, but I still loved her. Anyway, so I was very hesitant to go in this because a lot of next gen series don't always work, but this one really, really worked for me. I loved Gigi as a character. She was very strong, and Ryder was very closed off. I feel like this book, they both came in with preconceived ideas of who each other were, and both of them were proven wrong. I love that he called her princess, and I mean, I just thought that was funny. They both needed something that each other could give them. The tension was there. The character development was there. The development of the relationship was there. I felt like the world was already built, and so you got to meet the old crew again. And oh my gosh, the thing with Dean and the condoms and what he said about Tucker, oh my gosh, that made me laugh so hard. And I was in the middle of Target buying a nightlight, and I just bursted out laughing, and people were staring at me, and I don't care. That was so funny. That one scene solidified this 5 stars for me. I was like, that was so funny. But that was perfect for me. This book was a 5 star for me, and I loved it. I also read The Right Move by Liz Tom Ford. I also read Mile High. I did not give that one 5 stars. I did give All Caught Up, which I also read. I think I gave that one 4.5 stars. But I loved Ryan Shea as a hero. I feel like he was so thoughtful. He made sure she was taken care of, and he was very jealous. I mean, of everything when it concerned Indy. He did not want to like her, but he did. I can understand why everybody says he's like the best and the perfect book boyfriend. And I really, really, really enjoyed this book. I think this book was one of the best books I've read this year. And that's saying something because I've read some really good books, but this is definitely one of the best books I've read this year. And I can see why everybody loved it. Now, Emergency Contact. I'm not going to talk too much about this, but I did give it 5 stars. This one was just so good. And this one is they're actually traveling a lot. So, Inheritance, 5 star. This one's Nora Roberts. This one is on a freaking cliffhanger, and I hate cliffhangers. I really hate cliffhangers. Oh my gosh, I hate cliffhangers so much. I think I hate cliffhangers more than I hate third up breakups. I'm not going to lie. I really hate cliffhangers. And this one is on such a cliffhanger. And I have to wait a year for the book too, and I'm so mad. But I loved it so much that I gave it 5 stars and overlooked the cliffhanger. So, yeah. Okay. This one is a paranormal romance. And it takes place in a haunted house with a family curse, and after discovering her fiance and cousin having sex in her bed, no less, our heroine, who is Sonia, she decides to make some necessary changes, which she should, because that dude is a pig and needs to go away. Like, he needs to go far away, and he does. She gets a visit from a lawyer in Maine and finds out that she not only does her dad, who did not know he had her dad, he knew was adopted, but he did not know he had an identical twin. And the identical twin had her tracked down, and she inherited this big mansion in Maine with this whole trust, and it's worth a lot of money. She had to quit her job because of the shenanigans that her ex put her through, because her ex is a piece of POS. He's a POS, okay? I mean, oh, yeah. Anyway, so she goes to Maine, and the lawyer's son is there, and you know things are going to happen with the lawyer's son, right? And it does. But she adopts a puppy because it's Nora Roberts, and Nora Roberts loves her puppies. And she starts building a life there. And her best friend Cleo, who's from Louisiana, and Cleo's grandmother is a witch. And this house is definitely haunted, has things going on with it. There's a whole family legend and curse, and this is like, I had the best time with this book. Okay, I don't want to give things away, but there's this one ghost that loves music, and I was just there for that one ghost with the music. She was going everything from Taylor Swift to the Ramones, and I was just, when they were putting up the music, I was going on to YouTube and playing the music that the ghost was playing, and I was having a good time with it. It was a lot of fun. I highly recommend this one. Then I read When Gracie Met the Grump, and this was from one of my lists, and I loved this book. I gave 5 stars. This one is such a Mariana Zapata book. It has her potty humor, it has everything, and it was truly grumpy sunshine. This dude was so grumpy. He's like, don't look at me, don't touch me, don't be near me, I hate you. And Dell, he didn't hate her. And it literally took a turn that I had no idea I was going to take. And I was like, oh, we're going to go into the cartel business now. Okay, then. I was like, all right, then. Oh, we're going to go that way? Sure, let's go that way. And when I did, yeah, Grump is the superhero, and he crash landed into her front yard, and he had broken his back, and she had to take care of him. And oh my gosh, it was so good. It was very long because it's Mariana Zapata long, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I gave that one 5 stars. And I did read Big Nick Energy, and I will talk more about that later, but yes, that one I also gave 5 stars. And I also read After the Storm, and I think that was like one of the last books I read. That one is right person, wrong time, and those two were so freaking stubborn, they couldn't get out of their own way, because they were just like, well, if he's gonna go do that, then I'm gonna go do this, and la 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 la. I'm like, girl, grow up and have it. But she did grow up, and her marriage was never going to work because she got a tattoo of a raven right before she got married to her husband. And he called her called her Raven. That should have been the writing on the wall that she should not have married that one dude. Okay, there you go. Cage is a single dad to Gracie. He's such a great single dad. And you have the crazy small town, which honestly, the one, cafe owner is a walking felony. She's sexually harassing all the men. Oh my gosh, that makes me laugh, but I'm surprised no one's called the police on her yet. That's pretty funny. Anyway, Presley is newly divorced, coming back in to town, and she's taking care of her dad who has had a stroke. Grace and Cage and Presley are together. There's like the one scene where they end up getting stranded in a motel, kind of a seedy motel. I'm sorry, my butt's starting to hurt. Let's shift. There we go. Anyway, they get trapped in a seedy motel, and it's kind of Bates-esque, but yet he's like in a very small pair of long johns. That made me laugh. Anyway, but everybody loves them. Even his daughter loves him, and she convinces him to go after her. It's such a sweet, very romantic book, and this one has the right amount of steam, in the right places. It has the characters are developed correctly. This has the right pacing. I just thought this book was fantastic. This is going to be on my favorites of favorites. I can tell you that right now. I gave this one 5 stars. This is my favorite out of the Cottonwood Cove series. This one's definitely worth reading. My last one was Too Good to Be True. This one came out of left field. I didn't even know this one was coming out. This one's by Kristen Ashley. I just saw this one and I heard nothing about it. I just saw it and I was like, a contemporary romance in an English manner about an earl. Sounds like a historical romance, but in today's time, I am all about that. Let's do it. Let's go. So I did. All right. So she's an American, but she's worth billions because her dad was very smart with his money. He was a very savage businessman. Her sister is engaged to the younger son. Her sister's a piece of work, and the younger son is not much better. Anyway, there was some whole family drama there. I actually had a lot of fun with this one because it's romantic suspense, but there's some paranormal elements to it because there's this whole thing of a murder mystery that happened decades ago. Like, who killed the mistress from 1905 or something like that. The heroine feels like she's being haunted, and it takes place at a house party. I feel like I'm in a historical romance while being in a contemporary romance. It was a little trippy. I've never read anything quite like it. It was so unique. I loved it. I loved the romantic suspense. I loved the feeling of being the duality of a contemporary and a historical at the same time. I loved the writing. I loved the character development. I loved the romance. The hero, who is the duke, who is the earl, he's dirty, but he's also very sweet to her. I loved it. I loved the book. I loved the coldness of the parents, but yet the mother was not so cold. I loved how everything came together and how everything was explained. This was a really, really good find. I had no idea this was coming up. It just literally popped up on my For You page, and I was like, this looks interesting. I'm going to read it, and I'm so glad I did. I never saw any type of ad for it. I never saw any type of promotion for it. It was just like, hey, this just popped up. You want to read it? And I was like, hey, that looks good. I'm going to read it. And I'm glad I did. I gave it 5 stars. And it is so good. I am so glad I read it. It is such a unique romantic suspense. Anyway, so those are some of my favorite books that I read in November. Let me know some of your favorite books that you read down below. And as always, Like, comment, subscribe, because it really does help. And leave me a turkey emoji because we are leaving November behind. And as always, happy reading, my friends, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.